Winbrook Pride, Arts and Entertainment, take one.
Hello and welcome to the Winbrook Pride Arts and Entertainment Show. I'm your host, Darryl J. Jenkins. Today we have the publisher of Harlem World Magazine. Welcome to Winbrook Pride.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself
Uh,
and your name, of course.
Daniel Tisdale,
Okay.
owner and interim CEO of Harlem World Magazine. The magazine's been around for, I guess, 4 years now. We started in 2003. And originally from Los Angeles, but I bleed Harlem.
Okay.
Moved to New York right after I graduated from school. And, all I could think about was being in Harlem, being an artist and being, part of the history of the Harlem Renaissance. So right after I graduated from school,
Where'd you go to
came
school?
to Harlem. I went to Otis Parsons School of Design in California. So it's, it had Otis Parsons in California and then a collaboration with Parsons School of Design on the East Coast. So the two came together and created the school in Los Angeles.
Right. And you're originally from Watts, right?
Watts, California.
Right. Watts
born and raised.
Yeah. Watts has a name for itself, just like Harlem.
Well, it's just like Harlem, but not Harlem. When I go back home, people are like, "Oh, he's an East Coast now." He's no longer a Watts man. He's a Harlem man. So I love Harlem, which is why we created the magazine. But still Watts is in my heart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your community and family history, siblings.
Mom and Dad, everybody lives still on the West Coast. Mom is retired doing her thing.
Okay.
I have two older brothers and an older sister. I'm the youngest. And I'm the only one kind of doing the publishing thing. And I have a nephew that is also a writer. So I'm trying to kind of corral him into the publishing business and specifically come into the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of your accolades. You've been able to travel abroad from their art experience.
Well, I look at, myself as an artist first. And, most of the art that I've done in the past have been kind of conceptual artwork, where I come up with an idea and find the best medium that fits the idea for the artwork. And when I graduated from school, coming right to New York, I not immediately, but a year later started working at Interview Magazine with Andy Warhol. So I had the great opportunity of working with someone who was an artist and who started a business. Just to go back for a second, I was a small business management major as my minor, why I majored in art. So business has always been something I highly interested in. So working for Andy Warhol and then working from there at Barney's New York and Details Magazine and Paper Magazine while always living in Harlem, I always thought it would be a great idea to have a magazine there. But as an artist, it gave me the opportunity to travel to as many places as I've traveled to, from Israel to Africa to London to Amsterdam, just all over the world, and loved it. But there's still nothing like home. So making the full circle, ending back here is the perfect scenario.
All right, let's talk about Harlem World Magazine. What made you come up with the idea of Harlem World?
Part of it was there was a historical club in Harlem called Harlem World that was on Lenox Avenue and 116th Street. It used to be in that little corner. And those of you who've been to Harlem, where Conway's is now, is where Harlem World used to be. Right. And then P. Diddy and, the hip-hop
culture.
Yeah. that sensibility with, I'm trying to think of one of the other artists, Mace at the time, had did a song called Harlem World.
Right.
Every time we were thinking of titles, it just made more and more sense that we talk about Harlem World and the world of Harlem. So, you know, it was kind of a slam dunk after we kind of agreed on it, you know, and it just made sense, and it turns out to be, you know, perfect for what we're doing.
Okay, where is your office located?
Offices are right in central Harlem, right in Lenox and 128th Street, right in the hotbed in the heart of Harlem.
Okay, all right. And let's talk about some of your duties as a publisher and CEO. I know you wear a lot of hats.
Well, I wear a lot of hats, but we have a great team of people. My title is, you know, the title I use today is owner and interim CEO, but I'm also the publisher. But pretty much I you know, have a team of folks who are editors for each of the departments on the magazine. We're a general interest publication focused on the lifestyle, quality of lifestyle of those who read the magazine, and specifically people who live in Harlem who are African American, while at the same time focusing on those who are new to Harlem, which are black, white, Asian, and Hispanic, which also takes care of some of the surrounding areas of Harlem. When you think of Spanish Harlem, when you think of North Harlem, South Harlem, the west parts of Harlem, we try to cover the whole base there. But going back to our team, we have a group of editors focusing on each of our departments, from books, fashion, beauty, real estate, business, while at the same time having a group of contributing writers and photographers.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about some of the people. Who's this young lady here on the cover?
This is our new issue, hot off the press. You could probably still smell the ink. See? This is Janine Green. She has been modeling for years, and she's done some Revlon work. She's done some work in Elle. She lives in Harlem. And we just shot this about a month ago. And the whole idea was to play off of the Breakfast at Tiffany's movie with Audrey Hepburn. And in the movie, Audrey Hepburn has these boxes that she has in her arms coming just from shopping at Tiffany. So we said, let's play on the same idea and get all these bags from Harlem instead of Tiffany's.
Right.
These stores are just as good as Tiffany's, so we want to bring it home. So we have the cover shot by Hosea Johnson, the jewelry by Macari, again, all Harlem-based photographers, makeup people, and of course the retail shops where we get the bags from. And it also includes a literary supplement for Up South Festival that happened last week, and also a Harlem wedding event that takes place coming in October 29th at the River Room. So we try to do the whole Harlem thing.
Okay. Now, Harlem has changed a lot in the last couple of years. I mean, and a lot of people don't know it, that know me. I have family members that live in Harlem.
Okay.
And, matter of fact, my cousin David Givens, who's a political monster down there,
Okay.
did the
a name
face.
to be remembered.
That's
I see.
right. That's right. And being that Harlem has taken this change, do you see the faces as well changing?
Oh, certainly so. And we try to speak to that in the magazine. Even though our demographic is 75% women, 95% African American, we are looking at the entire mosaic that makes up Harlem. And we echo that in the magazine. I know your viewers can't see the magazine pages inside, but you can see the cover. But inside, you'll see the different faces that make up, the world of Harlem.
Okay. All right. Now that also Bill Clinton has come down there, there's a lot more businesses. I also like the eateries, the restaurants.
Me too.
Because if you want to look for soul food,
that's the place to be.
That's the place to be.
Right.
Let's talk about some of the places that you like to eat at.
I love to eat at all of them.
Okay.
And I especially love the places, when you think of something light fare, on the light fare side, Society Restaurant, which is right on 13th Street. Then Melba's right across the street, which is a little, I guess she calls it New Soul. Again, light fare, Sette Pane, which is on, I think, Lenox and 120th Street.
Right.
Mobay has just some fantastic, the jerk chicken I love. You know, and I know your audience is getting, you know, their mouths are watering, and they need to come down to Harlem to check it out. And also, we have a listing in the magazine of a lot of the places that I haven't mentioned where, you know, you can wine and dine and have a great time. And of course, you know, when you think of just great ribs, it's still Sylvia's, excuse me. And also Amy Ruth's.
Yes.
You know, what are some of your places when you go
I like Amy Ruth.
Ruth.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I go to Sylvia's. I used to go to Copeland's uptown.
Okay, right before they closed down.
Yeah, we closed down. I'm sorry that they closed down. And I like to go to my cousin's house, Troy Johnson.
Okay.
I like to go there and visit him.
Yeah. Well, he hasn't served me dinner yet.
No,
So
he hasn't served me dinner either. I've been invited. I can't say I haven't been invited, but I go over to Troy's house. He's on 119th. Anybody want to go down and see him?
I'm sure he'll love you giving him.
Yeah, right.
Almost giving his address out.
I didn't say the name of the building though.
But that's, you know, what's fantastic about Harlem is that, you know, Harlem has so much going on. You know, with the new people who's coming in, the people who've been there for years, the tourists that are coming in, you know, it's all good. We just, you know, are trying to help create that vision of what Harlem can be and should be, and all the things that we dream Harlem of being, you know.
Right.
And to me, Harlem is, you know, this, you know, the art world uses the term ongoing project, you know, ongoing work of art, and to me, that's what Harlem is. And I think the magazine is the same way too, is that we're fine-tuning it as we go along to really define the voice of the magazine. Even though we've been around for 4 years, it still evolves with the community. You know, we have to be flexible and have a flexible business model,
Right.
you know, as people say. And we try to have that, you know, to accommodate what's happening in the community and to move with the community. While at the same time, I think we don't follow trends. We try to, I don't want to say create trends, but we try to be ahead of what's happening and talk about what's happening. And hopefully, you know, I like to say, you know, be positive and upbeat about what we do.
Okay.
You know.
Well, let's talk about, you know, because you have a vast background and you're being very modest here. Let's talk a little bit about yourself. I mean, you've been to Europe, you graduated from college. Like I said, this is a show about positive role models. We want to enhance the youth to let them know that they can be successful. And you're being seen, you're on a platform right now, and kids need to hear, especially kids, because that's what this show is geared for, hear the trials and tribulations and some of the things that you've done in your past and part of your future, you know. And I want to hear some of those things.
Well, you know, again, I've had, you know, I just have great parents.
Okay.
You know, and
it starts there.
It started there.
Okay.
And with that, they have just, you know, never told me anything that I wanted to do, I could do. That's what they always told me. You know, and as long as you're positive and upbeat, which is, again, what the magazine is about, but that really is, you know, what I'm about. And I was raised that way. You know, I was, you know, right there on my block on Elva Avenue when the riots were going on.
Right.
And saw people coming home with TV sets and the like. We weren't a part of that. But I knew that we had to make a contribution to the community that we lived in so that things may happen differently. And that brings me back to Harlem, and that's where I see the magazine and I see what some of the things that I do. But I've never thought that I could not do anything I wanted to do. Rarely does it cross my mind that, you know, this is something that I can't do, but it's just how do I want to do it? And, you know, if I'm going to be a part of it, is it going to be something that's positive? Is it going to be something that people can come to and, you know, contribute to it? And I've been lucky.
All right.
You know.
Have you had any interns work with you? Any young people from the Harlem community?
Yeah, we have. We typically have interns every summer.
Okay.
So this year has been the first time that we have interns, and it hasn't been the summer. You know, to wait for them to come in July or June. So we have 2 interns now who help on our website, who help doing design work for our T-shirts, which is Eli and Ansel. You know, they do great work. You know, we try to bring them into the mix to the staff meetings we have, give them an overall view of how we're doing what we do so that if they want to start their own businesses, they can. And pretty much as they take care of what we do on the design side of the magazine when it comes to T-shirts, you know, that's kind of their department right now. So they run with it, and pretty much I try to manage them and see how they're doing what they're doing and make sure that they're, you know, dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
Okay.
You know, there's so much talent in Harlem and outside of Harlem that you know, we try to bring it through our doors.
All right. Let's give your website and phone number. Anybody want to get in contact?
You know,
with
I'm more than happy to do that.
Okay.
And the website is right on the magazine. It's HarlemWorldMag.com. Our website is HarlemWorldInfo, INFO, at yahoo.com. We also have a blog, which is harlemworld.blog.com. Also MySpace, which is myspace.com/HarlemWorldMag. So we're just trying to, we really look at ourselves as an integrated media company. We've kind of evolved from, you know, 2003 being a magazine till really up to 2006 where we were only focusing on doing the magazine, and now we are really looking at ourselves as a company that includes the magazine. The magazine really ends up being our mother brand, and from the magazine we are creating our own standalone website, and that really kicks off in October, a couple of weeks. We also do events, and we also do great work online. As I mentioned, we do some video work coming up down the line. It won't be anything as great as Winbrook Pride, but we're working towards that.
Okay.
But to really be a media company that you know, talks about all that's happening in Harlem on the event side and the book side, just covering the whole basis,
Okay,
one-stop shop for everything that's Harlem.
Okay. Now, as an entrepreneur, the entrepreneurship, how difficult is it to maintain?
It's tough. It's tough. I'm not going to, you know, lie about that. It is tough. But you know, I played football for a number of years. I was always team captain, and I think my strength is working with people who are just as smart as I am, or they're smarter.
Right.
And so I'm a team player, so I like to bring together those folks who have, you know, the skills for the job that we need done. I know where my strength is, which is advertising and production, and we are bringing people on board who, you know, have those talents to help us grow and to create new revenues for us so that we can, you know, grow and produce quality. We're really trying to create a great company, and not just because we're local, it should be, you know, a good magazine. But we really want to create a great company, a great magazine, a great online site, so that people have great experiences no matter where they are. One reason why we're not just doing the magazine is that you know, 40% of our subscribers are outside of not just Harlem, but New York. You know, St. Louis, L.A., you know, all over the United States. So we really want to be able to speak to them, and so the website gives us the opportunity to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been involved with the Harlem Day festivities that they've had in the past?
Yeah, we pretty much collaborate with our partner with those who are doing events and just doing good work in Harlem. You know, from you know, the book festivals to working with Mosaic Books, working with African American Literary Book Club, working with the Harlem Book Fair. As I mentioned, we have a special supplement from Up South Festival in this issue. You know, as long as you're doing quality work and you are, you know, have a community sense of how you do what you do, we typically work with you, and we can make some money together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'd like to work with you.
Definitely,
you know?
that's.
But why do I say what I said as far as we can make money together? When I first moved to Harlem, I saw that there were so many businesses that were just great, whether they were around during the Harlem Renaissance, or whether it was the 60s, or whether it was the 70s, 80s, or 90s, but they disappeared for whatever reason. So we just want to make sure that we do great work and that we're around as long as we can be. And, my number one hat is as an artist, so I'm steadily trying to, move to the background, but continue the legacy of just producing quality and driving revenues and creating a great magazine and a great company. But I think my job is, one of kind of creation, and then step to the back and let those who have, more experience to do the job that needs to be done.
Okay. What are your goals on? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Where do I see myself 5 years from now? Hopefully, I am, on the board of Harlem World Magazine, and I pop in every now and then and see what's going on. Mm-hmm. But I am doing the artwork that I want to do. I've kind of put my art on a shelf to create the magazine and make sure that it's focused in the right direction. So just to, I think, do some of the things that I really want to do in addition to the magazine, and that's to do some more artwork.
Have you any of your artwork in any galleries or anything of that nature?
Not right now. Not right now, because I've just been doing the magazine.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in the past.
In the past, I've shown at the Lombard Freed Gallery, Franklin Furnace, the Bronx Museum, the Whitney Museum, right on 125th Street, the Studio Museum in Harlem.
Okay.
Quite a few different places. Okay. They can go to TisdaleStudio.com and go to the website and see some of the work that I've done, and a list of some of the spaces where I've shown.
Because you got a lot of talent, and we don't really have enough time to get it all out, because I read your bio, and it's 2 pages long. And
I tried to edit it. I tried to.
And you have a vast background and a great history.
Well, it comes out of, again, my parents. Their whole thing was, talent doesn't mean anything if you don't use it. So, I have a lot of interests. I don't like just doing one thing. My attention span is about that big. That's why it's hard for me to sit in this chair,
Mm-hmm.
for these, 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I just, I don't think there's anything to stop me. Okay. So I have a vast interest. So I just try to do as much as I want to do that makes sense with the time that I have, that doesn't interfere with some of the things that I'm doing, So I just, love doing as much as I can. Okay. I wish I could do more of the things that I want to do.
Yeah, it can't be too many places, too many times.
That's right. We don't want the quality to suffer.
Right. All right, Harlem World Magazine. Let's talk about this issue.
Yes.
We have a giving special. What's that special? Or is it a secret?
The secret's in the magazine.
Right.
Which means they have to get the
magazine. They have to get the magazine.
They have to.
Let's tell them how they can get this issue.
Well, they can do 2 things. One is that they can go online to harlemworldmag.com and subscribe to the magazine. Mm-hmm. Or they can make the visit to Harlem and pick up the magazine when we start distributing in October. Okay. Why October? This is the October, November, December issue. We're quarterly, so we come out 4 times a year. Though this year we're talking about doing something a little special for the holidays with those shoppers who are coming to Harlem. That's all I can say right now.
Okay.
But we distribute the magazine at 60 locations in Harlem, in locations like the Studio Museum, like the Apollo, like the Schomburg, mm-hmm. That are quality, venues in Harlem for a quality magazine.
Okay. If there was anything that I might have left out that you want to bring out, what would that be?
Well, I think for those of your viewers out there who are writers, who are photographers, who are makeup artists, and other categories that I don't mention and can't think of at the moment, they should certainly reach out to us. You don't have to just be from Harlem or live in Harlem to do work in the magazine or do work online or to help in some way with events or do events together or work in video capacity. We're always looking for great people who have a Harlem state of mind to work with us in any capacity that they have in mind or where they have experience. We're always trying to improve our product. We're always trying to look for more opportunities there to shake some of those trees that are out there that have talent on them and some of that green stuff,
Definitely.
We, as I said, we want to just get better at what we're doing, and fine-tune what we do.
Before we cut out, I want you to give your number again and information. And if anybody is also looking for sponsorship or advertising, they can get in contact with you as well, right?
Can you say that again?
Sponsorship or advertising.
You can contact us at harlemworldmag.com. And if you have trouble looking for or finding our email address on there, our email address is harlemworldinfo@yahoo.com. You can also go to our MySpace account or also our blog. The blog is at harlemworld.blog.com. The MySpace is myspace.com/harlemworldmag, and do all those things we've talked about. Especially advertise or be a sponsor for some of our great events that happens in the greatest city in the world, which is Harlem.
All right. Let's talk about your business location too, just so in case they want to mail it conventionally or just stop in to see you.
Thank you. I hadn't even thought about that. If folks want to mail something to us, they can send it to Harlem World Magazine /Tisdale at P.O. Box 1405, New York City 10027, or they can email and stop by and we can connect and talk and do what we do. And our phone number is 212-696-7929. I don't know how I forgot that.
I don't know how you
But
did
again,
that.
it's 212-696-7929.
Title and name once again, Daniel.
Daniel Tisdale. I am publisher, excuse me. You see, I'm nervous saying it. But I really like to think of myself as the owner and interim CEO. So that's what I do. That's what we're doing, and looking forward to the future.
Thanks for being a part of Winbrook Pride. Time has run out for us.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
All right. And my guest is the CEO, publisher, owner of Harlem World Magazine, as you can see here. And I hope that you will continue to watch Winbrook Pride.